Hello everyone! Welcome back to another Mob Psycho 100 episode review. I'm super excited about this. As you probably noticed, I'm in a different location than I normally am. That's only because I'm at my girlfriend's house and the recording must go on. I have to keep reviewing these episodes. And what an exciting episode this was, so let's get into it. So we start off with the group not knowing what the heck to do. They're watching the news. They can see that the Claw group is kind of converging on the city from this like tower that's like in the center of it, and they're just going out and destroying everything as they go. And they're just like, we don't know what to do. I mean, Hanazawa got his butt kicked by Teru. He's like, well, if he's that strong and he's just like a lackey, then we're pretty much done for. So that's pretty much what they decide to do, is just kind of sit around and think of a plan, but they have no idea what to do. Meanwhile, you have the foot soldiers of Claw that are all wearing these red outfits that are kind of like destroying buildings and attacking people as they go out and kind of conquer the world. They're kind of like spreading out their territory more and more and more until the rest of the world kind of just submits to them. What's interesting about the foot soldiers, though, is that they didn't have psychic powers before. The Claw boss gave them psychic powers, so it's like, how did he do that? How strong is he if he can just give everybody powers? It's pretty interesting. I thought that they did some experiments or something, and that's how the Scars got all their psychic powers, but these guys don't have any scars. They're just little lackeys, and they're strong enough just to take out like the general police and the like navy, not navy, but like the army type of soldiers and stuff like that. It's pretty much what they're trying to do. Reigen states that he doesn't want to get involved. He's like, look guys, we can't do anything. We're pretty much done for. So he's sitting this one out, and people are like, oh, that's really strange of him. Usually he has a plan, usually he wants to do things and get things going, but he's out of it. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He said he thought they could do something if Mob was awake, but Mob's completely knocked out, so it's a no-go. Until his insurance agent calls and tells him that he's not getting any coverage on his office being burnt down because they couldn't find the source of it. And he's like, it was psychic powers, that's what caused it. They're like, oh, we've never dealt with that, so we're not going to pay you any money for your office. So he gets riled up. He's like, okay, we're going to do something about this. And I'm going to find the people who burnt down my office, and I'm going to drag them to the insurance company, and they're going to pay for the damages. So that's what gets him motivated. It gets everybody kind of motivated. Everybody kind of gets better spirits. Hanazawa's like, I'm done being depressed. It's time to get the plan working. Mob is still asleep, though. So without him, I'm doubtful that they can do anything without Mob. But they're going to try, at least. Meanwhile, Ritsu is with the son of the Claw boss. I don't remember his name. I'm pretty sure they mentioned it in this episode, but I'm so bad at the names. I'm slowly getting there with the names. But he's with them, and they're kind of on their own little mission and their own little group, attacking the little like lackeys, the little foot soldiers of Claw. And they're making their way towards the center, towards where the father is, the main guy. And the son of the Claw boss tells Ritsu that your powers actually surpass your brother's, which I don't believe that. I think he's just saying that because he feels like Ritsu is more inclined to fight back and attack other people, and that's what makes him stronger. But as far as power-wise goes, Mob completely demolishes everybody. Except for maybe the Claw boss, because we have not seen literally anything of what this guy can do. So that'll be interesting when that comes up. But right now, him saying, oh, your powers exceed your brother's, like, yeah, right. Either you're just trying to rile him up and get him, like, motivated, or it's just you think that because he's stronger in his will to fight than Mob, but power-wise, no. One of the Ultimate Five, Minagishi, shows up. This is the plant user of one of the Ultimate Five that shows up to attack Ritsu and that group. And the group actually handles this guy pretty well. They're actually holding their own. But it doesn't last very long. I mean, you see later they get completely demolished. Somehow Ritsu and the son of the Claw Boss got away from the fight, but that group that seemed like they were pretty cool, that was it for them. They got demolished by this guy. But I mean, he uses plants. It's kind of interesting that he can just manipulate and grow plants using his psychic powers. So it'll be interesting to see how they defeat this guy. But they got away, and they're making their way towards that tower no matter what happens. While all that is going on, Reigen has come up with a really actually pretty good plan to distract the people on top. And what he's doing is he's having Hanazawa, mainly Hanazawa, because the other ones can't really help. They're not really that powerful. To have a bunch of cars floating in the air towards the foot soldiers, and they don't know what the heck's going on. So it's a distraction for them, while another group, of Reigen's group, whatever, is heading underground in the sewers and headed towards the tower to see what they can do. It's a really good plan. Hanazawa's kind of having trouble until another Claw member shows up. It's the weird one that can like transform his face. I don't have his name though. So I don't know. It's just a weird looking guy. Really weird looking guy. But he helps Hanazawa, and they're sending cars flying. They're infiltrating underground. Everything is going pretty smoothly. And like I said before, Ritsu's group looked like they were powerful. But, I mean, that's about when they get defeated. They're showing off their cool moves. He can, like, take... One of the people in Ritsu's group can take the plants and that from the Minagishi. Yeah, Minagishi. I don't know his name. And manipulate them and turn them into like a spider web type of thing, like a barrier. One of them can heal. One of them uses a fan to like send out shock waves and stuff. It's like, wow, these guys not bad, but no, demolished. A bunch of intruders come into the little base that Reigen is at. So Reigen has to get out of there. He's by himself with Mob, who's asleep, and Dimple, and the one guy who loves psychics or whatever. The one that he doesn't have any powers. He's just an enthusiast or whatever. And they have intruders coming in. Some of the foot soldiers have gotten into their little base. So Reigen hides, but it don't matter. They find him, and Reigen's like, well, look, guys, like, I'm not in any trouble. This guy is asleep. Can you just let us go? And they're like, oh, no, who are you? He's like, oh, I work as a business for, like, perfumes or something. He gets out the little spray bottle and sprays them with the, if you don't remember, from Season 1, the spray that knocked out Mob. It has like a curse in it that makes them fall asleep. He just casually sprays them. They all fall asleep. He's like, wow, it's pretty easy. Like, I thought, like, oh, that was actually a really good plan. Until Shibata shows up, another Ultimate 5. And this guy is the big muscular man. He shows up, he's like, oh, wow. Oh, I thought you were trash, but you're pretty good. And I love how Reigen just sprays him real quick. No questions asked, just sprays him in the face, knocks him out. It's like, wow, that went a lot easier than I thought. Except the only problem is, he doesn't stay that way. But before it gets to that, it cuts to a different scene where the Claw Boss is explaining his motivation, what he's doing, the reason for what he's doing, and how his past shaped him to be this way. And how he was kind of always privileged. He always got what he wanted, but it wasn't like he was given what he wanted. He worked towards the goals, but in his mind, he knew he could achieve anything he put his mind to. And so all his life he's been achieving these things, and he awakened psychic powers. And now he's in his mind, he's thinking, well, I want the world now, so I'm going to get it. Like, in his mind, it's a kind of a version of, like, privilege, in the sense of like, look, I want it, I'm gonna get it, and that's that. There's no buts about it, pretty much. He's telling this to what's his name, Serizawa, the guy with the umbrella, and he's saying, this is how I want you to be. You have a lot of potential, and you need to not show mercy, because apparently he showed mercy against Joseph when he attacked him, and he's like, if you want to be like me. And how you can achieve anything you want, you need to like not show any mercy and just do what needs to be done. He has a really scary like face, atmosphere. It's something really off about him that I feel like what's gonna happen. He's gonna fight Mob, and he's gonna see that he's not as powerful as he thinks he is, and he's gonna snap, and that's gonna be one hell of a fight. After this, we cut back to Reigen, who's on his way to escape when Shibata wakes up real fast. Like, I was surprised it didn't keep him knocked out for very long. And Reigen's like, oh snap, I thought you were awake. He's like, oh, because of you, I'm awake now. And while he was explaining to Reigen what his powers were, he was like saying like, oh, I manipulate the psychic energy to my brain, which makes my muscles bigger. While he's explaining this, Reigen just sprays him in the face again. I love this part because it was like, nah, good night. Sleep well. It was just so perfect, like how fast he did it, and it just knocks this guy out again. But before he gets knocked out, he kind of like, he's going like he's gonna get knocked out, and his eyes just kind of turn white. And he bulks up even more, and now he's just a mindless monster. Almost like, I feel like it's muscle memory. Like, the psychic energy knows to bulk up and knows to be like a beast, but his mentality of like a person is gone. This thing's just a raging monster at this point. And he's about to attack Mob, who dodges thanks to Dimple. Dimple takes over Mob's body and dodges like the most beautiful acrobat you've ever seen. Whenever Dimple's in Mob's body, he's like so acrobatic and amazing at fighting. The animation here was brilliant. Whenever Dimple takes control of Mob's body, it's like, okay, let's put all the budget to this and make a really amazing little fight. I mean, he's like kicking, flying through the air, punching this guy. It's not having any effect. Like, this guy is so bulked up and powerful. He just grabs Mob by the leg and tosses him around the room. I mean, he bounces everywhere. Not really hurt, thankfully, because Dimple managed to do what he could. But it's obvious he's after Mob. He's not after Reigen at all, because Mob's the one fighting him, and Shibata's just a beast right now. So he runs off, leaving Reigen by himself. This is where things get a bad turn, pretty much. So meanwhile, while Mob is getting beaten around and running away from this Shibata guy, all of the groups are starting to get captured, pretty much. We see Ritsu's group get demolished. We see Hanazawa's group under the sewers get confronted by Teru, pretty much. Like, all the groups are getting attacked, pretty much. Actually, no, I completely messed that up. Hanazawa's group is the one that gets caught by a whole nother group of scars. Like, it's a whole nother group from a different division of the Scar division or whatever. And they get caught, and the one guy with the weird colored mustache and hair supposedly betrays Hanazawa. Like, oh, I was just a spy this whole time. I'm not sure I believe it. I might believe it because they did find them really easily. Like, how did these scars know where to find these guys? But at the same time, I think the guy is just bluffing to, like, secretly attack them. But Hanazawa doesn't know that, and so it's not looking good for that group. Meanwhile, Teru, the blind Ultimate 5 claw member, finds and confronts the group that's in the sewers. And I love how he appears, like he just comes walking down sideways. It shows how arrogant these guys are. They're so proud of their powers. Compared to how Mob thinks of his powers as just an extension of, like, it's just like anything else that's special about somebody, where there's someone smart or run fast. Psychic powers is just something special, but it doesn't make you special in a way. Like, without the psychic powers, these people are nothing. But with them, they think so highly of themselves, like they're gods or whatever. And I feel like it's going to come back to bite them when Mob wakes up. Dimple's running away from this Shibata monster. And he runs into a crowd of people, and he's like, well, there's going to be a lot of casualties, but at least I'll be safe. I'm like, that's pretty messed up. He's going to let all these people die, pretty much. Until he sees Tsubomi is in the group. He's like, oh, shoot, Tsubomi's here? Like, I can't let her get hurt because then Mob is going to destroy me. So he tries to, like, protect Tsubomi and protect himself. He's about to get hit with this huge fist to the stomach. And he puts out, like, a barrier, like, all his power on a barrier. Gets knocked into the sky and gets, like, comes out of Mob. He gets knocked out of the possession. So Mob's unconscious body is just flying off and then onto the ground. It's like, oh god. I thought he was gonna wake up before he hits the ground and just explode into a power blast, but didn't happen. Luckily, Mob's friends came to the rescue. Because fortunately, the Body Improvement Club was around in the area and they managed to catch Mob before he hit the ground. And they're like, wow, what's going on? Why did he fly through the air? Did somebody throw him? Here comes Shibata, just coming to kill him. And the Body Improvement Club tries to fight back. I mean, the captain of it goes after Shibata, but this guy is so huge, he just takes the captain and throws him across the wall. Like, get out of here. Destroys all the rest of them so easily, and then goes after Mob's unconscious body and goes to step on him. Like, this is pretty messed up. But luckily, the captain of the Body Improvement Club protects Mob's body, and he's like, I'm not letting you hurt this boy. I've seen how hard he struggles, and he's really inspired us and gave us courage. Like, it's so amazing how much Mob has touched other people's lives, and just by being his kind and genuine self has reached other people, and now they want to protect him with their lives. Because in the captain's mind, he's saying, like, there's nothing Mob could have done to deserve this. Nothing, because Mob is such a good person. So to see him getting attacked, he's like, no, I'm going to protect Mob with my life. And he tries his hardest, but it looks like he's about to die. Until Dimple, sorry, not Mob, Dimple takes over the captain's body, bulks him up, 100% max muscle mass, and destroys Shibata. Like, completely annihilates this guy, drives him into the ground, knocks him out, done. And they're all celebrating. They're like, yay, you did it! Until Shibata wakes back up. Like, how the hell are you supposed to stop this guy? I'm like, oh god, they need to run. They need to get the hell out of there, because this Shibata guy just will not stop. He's just a machine that keeps coming. But then you see him, like, collapse, and the ground just indents, and you see Mob there, and Mob's awake, and I don't think anyone realized. I realized while watching this, Mob just took out Shibata instantaneously, just bam, without even using any, like, that much power. He just completely defeats Shibata. It's done. And everyone's happy. Everyone's like, oh, you're awake. Like, don't ever fall asleep outside. Everything's happy. Everything seems good. But now Mob's in the fight. And I can't wait for next week to see how he gets involved. Because everyone's in trouble. Everyone needs Mob to come now and protect them. Everyone's been protecting Mob this whole time. It's his turn to protect them now. So before the episode ends, we see Ritsu and the son of the Claw Boss reach the tower. I don't know if the Claw Boss can see his son, because he's looking in the window, like, this look of, like, oh god, it's him. Like, he just has this look of, like, oh geez, I have to fight him or whatever. I don't know. But that's where the episode ends. It was really action-packed, really fun. They keep the comedy going, but there was some really good moments, especially with the captain protecting Mob. I thought that was it shows how much they care about Mob, and I'm glad that they keep emphasizing that he always has friends who want to back him up and really believe in Mob, and believes in his struggle of trying to be a better person for himself. So I'm glad that they showed all of that. It was a really good episode. I'd probably give this episode, I would say, a 9 out of 10. It was definitely a great episode. It kept you interested. The animation is always... This show, as simple as the drawings are, they can do so much with it being simple drawn. They can make it more flexible, and the music is so good with how it flows into the scene. It's so amazingly done. This season has been fantastic so far, but I feel like we're getting to the end of the season unless there's more episodes, but I haven't been hearing anything about there being more than like 12 or 13 episodes, so I feel like it's going to be cut short. Like, I want there to be like a whole episode of just Mob and the Claw Boss fighting, but I feel like we're not going to get that, but who knows. Let me know what you guys think of the episode. Did you guys enjoy it? Let me know what you guys think of the episode, what your favorite parts were, and what will you would rate this episode out of 1 through 10. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate it. It helped me out. I'm on almost to 1,000, really close to 1,000. And check out my other videos: Red Dead Redemption 2 gameplay, Walking Dead gameplay. I'm definitely thinking about doing some Pokemon reactions with my girlfriend. I'm gonna have her watching the original Pokemon series because we got Pokemon Detective coming out pretty soon. So working on those. I might put those on Vimeo like other reactors are doing because I don't want any copyright strikes. I already got 2 copyright strikes because of the Boruto manga chapter review. So I gotta be more careful with how I do things or I might lose everything. And I've worked too hard to do that. So hopefully you guys understand and just stay patient and the content will just keep coming out. So catch you guys next time and have yourselves a great one.